All right, so let's awkwardly walk around public and talk about community corrections. It's like the first thing we got is probation versus parole. You've probably heard these words a lot, but you've never really known what the difference is. They're kind of the same thing, they just happen at opposite times. Let's see, which way am I going to go here? Okay, making sure I didn't get hit by cars. All right, so probation happens before you go to prison. So, whoop, a lot of stuff going on. I hear sirens.
About when I got.
Okay. There's like an entire MacBook just laying in the parking lot over there. That looks like bait. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, somebody scared me. It just keeps getting louder. Maybe this was a bad idea. Let me veer down this dark alleyway. No, this is kind of fun. Anyway, probation happens before you go to prison. If you get probation, there are a certain amount of rules you've got to follow, or else you go to prison. So let's say you get 10 years in prison, but it's suspended and you're put on probation. So you'll be on probation for however many years, and you have to follow very strict rules. What is this up here? And if you break any of the rules while you're on probation, then you get the sentence that was suspended. So as long as you follow the rules, you're good. But if you break the rules, you go to prison for the sentence you would have gotten originally. This is kind of neat. Huh. I'm gonna get killed. Anyway. So parole is kind of the same thing as probation, but it happens afterward. So if you're in prison, you get a prison sentence, 20 years, possibility of parole after 15. So you get granted parole at 15 years. But for the remainder of the original sentence, you're going to be kind of on probation again. You've got to follow very specific rules. And if you break those rules, then you go back to serving your prison sentence in prison. So parole and probation, kind of the same thing. Probation happens before you go to prison. Parole happens after you get out of prison. So just remember that. There's like a big pile of clothing in that doorway. Okay. Probation, we discovered that. Revocation, that's when your probation is revoked. So if one of your terms of probation is... Oh, hi. I thought he was talking to me, but he had an earpiece in. I love when that happens. Anyway, revocation, that's when your probation gets revoked. Obviously, it's in the word. There's a lot of people down here. I'm going to turn around. Okay, so yeah. If one of the conditions of your parole is you cannot... That was loud. You can't own a firearm and you're caught with a firearm while you're on parole, then it will get revoked and you will go back to prison. That would be a reason for revocation. All right, we got some Supreme Court cases. We've got Mempa versus Ray, that's R-H-A-Y, which happened in 1967. This just means that if you're on probation and your probation gets revoked, you have the right to an attorney during the revocation process. Okay, We're at an intersection. Just gonna go this way. There's a lot of people out for a Thursday. Right, we've got Gagnon versus Scarpelli, another Supreme Court case in 1973. And this one basically just says that a hearing has to take place before a revocation process. You've got all your same rights during the revocation that you would if you were originally convicted of a crime, basically. And then Morrissey versus Brewer, 1973. Pretty much what we just talked about. Also applies to parolees as well as probationers. Right, so there's some debate as to whether or not probation is successful. Kind of a mixed bag. Some people say it is, some say it's not. Got more noise. We've got some other, whoop, now it's getting windy. Where am I gonna go here? Let's go this way. All right, we've got other forms of community-based correction. Some of these are really fun. You got fines, pretty sure we all know what those are. Restitution, we all know what that is. Home confinement, home arrest, community service, we know what that is. Day reporting centers, we talked about that in class. And, sorry. One that's not on here that I think I might have brought up, it's one of my favorite types of community-based corrections, is public shaming. It's not as bad as it used to be, like when people put in stocks and people would throw stuff at you. These days it's more along the lines of making somebody hold a sign saying what they did and stand on the side of the road for like 3 days. It's quite effective and I love it. Okay, we got rehabilitation. We kind of touched on that already. If you've got any questions about rehabilitation philosophy within prisons, just email me. Never be afraid to email me. Okay, I'm in traffic again. Thank you. If I get run over and survive, I'm still gonna upload this. Okay. Alright, we got some stuff on like the history of all this. If you got any questions about that, let me know. Okay, I think we might be done with that whole day. Whew, almost fell down. I'm gonna injure myself. Okay, safe here. I just realized I have no idea where I'm at. Just somewhere in town. Okay. All right, let's talk about some prison goals and management. You got 3 main models here. We're going to talk about the custodial model, the rehabilitation model, and the reintegration model. Okay, let's see where he goes with this. Okay, first of all, prison overcrowding. Let's talk about that. That's a thing. Oh, I know where I'm at now. We're at the library. Wonder how many people think I'm just talking to myself. Oop. Let me get out of the crowd of people. So yeah, prison overcrowding, kind of self-explanatory. We all know that's going on, obviously. So we got some prison demographics here. Hello. So probably not surprisingly, 95% of the prison population is male, 5% is female. As far as racial makeup, Hispanic 17%, white 35%, African American 46%, and other is 2%. So I don't think that surprises anybody how that, we all know the demographics of all that kind of stuff. Age distribution within prison demographics, got about, let's see, what's the youngest here? So about 21% is 18 to 24. Our biggest population, 46% of prisoners. Woo. That whole piece of concrete almost collapsed. Whoop. Somebody almost hit a cop. Huh. No one can drive in this town. Since I moved here, I've been hit once, almost hit like 3 times. It's like, good grief. Anyway, where was I at? This is a mess. So, 46%, the biggest chunk of people in federal prison or state prison, just prisons in general. 25 to 34, so young adults. 23%, 35 to 44. Then going up to 55 and older is just 3%. Ooh. I really want to go in this. I'm gonna try to go in this. They've got cameras sticking on the outside of it, but they're those fake cameras you can get on Amazon. I know, because I've got those at my apartment. Oh, this will be so easy to get in. Okay. Let me get back on topic here. I'm really gonna try to get into this abandoned house. Okay. So have you ever looked at like prisons, 55 and older, sometimes there'll be like almost like a little medical wing where you'll have like the very, very old, like decrepit in hospital beds prisoners. Not very many of them, but that happens. Education levels, 19% of people in prison, 8th grade or less, 12% some college, 22% high school graduate, and 46%, the largest group, is some high school, so people that did not finish high school. So education plays a huge role there. Huh. He's not going in this PowerPoint where I thought he was going to go. All right, there's some more Supreme Court cases. Cooper versus Pate, 1964. You'll find that within criminal justice, there are a lot of Supreme Court cases in the 60s. So Cooper versus Pate basically allowed prisoners the right to sue prison officials for mistreatment. Then Procunior versus Martinez, 1974. This reinforced the freedom of speech of prisoners, that just because you're a prisoner, your freedom of speech can't be restricted. You'll see that these days a lot, where prisoners will still write books from prison. Abu Jamal is a really good example. If you've never read Live from Death Row, it's a very fascinating book about life in prison. There are people that have written children's books from prison, all kind of stuff. And lately there's been some kind of debate about social media access in prisons, but I don't know. We'll see where that goes in the courts eventually. All right, access to the courts. Johnson versus Avery, a Supreme Court case in 1968, authorized jailhouse lawyers, so you can have access to legal counsel while you're in jail. Then Bounds versus Smith, this happened in 1977, gave inmates the right to receive legal help or help for getting legal information through prisons. Usually this takes the form of like a law library, something like that. Freedom of religion. This was really cemented in the Supreme Court case Fullwood versus Climmer in 1962. So there was an issue for a while where specifically Muslim inmates weren't allowed to do their daily prayers and other things inside the prison. And this Supreme Court case said that they have the right to do this. And there are some funny instances of this. I forget the name of the prisoner group that attempted this, but they cited this Supreme Court case. And they attempted to make their own religion, where part of their religion said that they had to have a bottle of wine and a full steak every night. And that didn't work. There are a lot of people that'll try to twist these. I don't think I'm going to be able to get in this house. I've looked at every corner. Is anybody going to stop me if I walk on the sidewalk or if I go to the yard? Nope. Okay, I'm just going to look in the little... There's like no way to get into it. I really want to go in there, but... Oh well. Maybe I'll come back with a crowbar tonight. We'll see. No, that'd be breaking and entering. I wouldn't do that. But there's a lot of ways to get around. Okay, anyway. Off topic there. Let's get past this crowd of people. Yeah, so is it technically breaking a strike if I'm doing this off campus? Wink, wink, who knows? Anyway, I want to support everybody, but I don't want to leave all of you students just hanging from something you have no control over. So we'll see how long I can straddle the fence here. Anyway, so some more Supreme Court cases, but before that, there was another one where this prisoner, he was on death row, or no, he was serving life in prison. And while he was in prison, he suffered I think a massive heart attack, and he actually was pronounced dead, but was resuscitated later at a hospital. And he tried to argue in court that since he was technically dead and was resuscitated, that meant that he served his life sentence and he should get out, but that didn't work. People can get pretty creative when they want out of prison. Anyways, some more Supreme Court cases. Bell versus Wolfish, 1979. Strip searches are okay. They just said that strip searches are fine. Some people were angry that strip searches happened. Those can be quite invasive. Then Hudson versus Palmer. This was in 1984, another Supreme Court case. Said that prisons and prison officials have the rights to search prison cells, to search your cells for weapons or whatever. All right. Let's see, anything else big? Okay, not really. So I guess that pretty much covers everything, even though I wasn't able to get into that abandoned house. But, oh no. Oh no, there's a bouncy house up here. Oh God. Okay. So, that's it for the lecture, I guess. I'll maybe see you all next week. Stay on the video if you want to see me try to get in this bouncy house. I want to go bounce a lot. If I could get through traffic first. Oh, we got some running across the road, not safe. What are they going to say? Some grown-ass man is going to come up there and be like, what are you doing? Oh, no. I think they're shutting it down. Oh, well. There it is. Never mind. I'm not going to get in the bouncy house. That would have been really fun. But I found my way back to campus. So, anyway, questions, email me if you're confused about the strike or what the union is or what's going on with all that. Email me, remember. Email me, don't message me on Canvas because chances are I'm not even going to see it. So yeah. See you all whenever. I'm going to upload this now. Oh, What if I just sneak over here and get into it? Look how close I am. No, I'm not gonna do that.